Everybody ready? Okay. Hello. Good. I'm Vanessa Rasmussen, English Department Chairperson and the coordinator of our school Poetry Out Loud competition. I'm very happy to welcome you today to Vineland High School's annual Poetry Out Loud competition. Poetry Out Loud is a national arts education program that encourages the study of great poetry by offering educational materials and a dynamic recitation competition to high schools across the country. Participating teachers use the Poetry Out Loud toolkit to teach poetry recitation and run classroom competitions. Students select, memorize, and recite poems from an anthology of more than 700 classic and contemporary poems. Beginning at the classroom level, winners advance to the school-wide competition, which is what we're doing today, then to the regional competition, which this year will be held on February 21st at Apple Farm in Elmer, New Jersey. Our school champion will compete against other school champions from high schools throughout Cumberland, Atlantic, and Cape May counties. The winner of the regional competition advances to the state competition. We have performed well at the regional finals in the past several years and advanced to the state competition 4 times. The winner of the state competition wins a trip to the national finals in Washington, D.C., where they have a shot at winning $20,000. Since 2005, Poetry Out Loud has grown to reach more than 3 million students and 50,000 teachers from 10,000 schools in every state, Washington, D.C., the U.S. Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico. Today we will hear from 11 of your fellow students as they recite from memory the poems that they have selected from the Poetry Out Loud anthology. Each student will recite a poem in the first round. The top 5 scorers will recite their second poem. The highest score from both rounds will determine the winner. Students will be evaluated with the Poetry Out Loud rubric, which emphasizes these criteria: physical presence, voice and articulation, dramatic appropriateness, evidence of understanding, accuracy, and overall performance. Our judges for today's competition are Mrs. Nancy Hollenweiber, Supervisor of Language Arts, Mrs. Lauren DeBello, Supervisor of Mathematics, who will be serving as our tally judge, Ms. Lindsay Tisch, English teacher, who will be serving as our accuracy judge, Mrs. Kim DeVilla, English teacher, Mr. John McLean, English teacher, Mrs. Noel Patel, English teacher, and Mrs. Jennifer Lanning, literacy coach, will be serving as our prompter. By performing great works of literature, students can master public speaking skills, build self-confidence, and learn more about their literary heritage. The students that you will hear today represent all of Vineland High School in 3 buildings: VHS North, VHS South, and AMSET Johnstone. 3 classes, sophomore, junior, and senior, multiple English class levels, and multiple teachers. I'm very proud of all of our students' hard work, creativity, and insight. They've truly amazed me during our classroom competitions, and I wish them the best of luck. Let's begin round 1. Okay, our first contestant is Zara Alahi. Zara is a sophomore, and this is her 2nd time competing in Poetry Out Loud. She is a part of HOSA, cross country, and track, and she hopes you enjoy her recitations.
Bright Copper Kettles by Michelle Shashadri. Dead friends coming back to life, dead families speaking languages living and dead, their minds retentive, their 5 senses intact, their footprints like a butterfly's, mercy shining from their comprehensive faces. This is one of my favorite things. I like it so much, I sleep all the time. Moon by day and sun by night finally dispersed deep in the dreams where they appear. In fields of goldenrod, in the city of 5 pyramids before the empress with the melting face, under the towering plane tree, they just show up. It's all right, they seem to say. It always was. They are diffident and polite. Who knew the dead were so polite? They don't want to scare me. Their heads don't spin like weather vanes. They don't want to steal my body and possess the earth and wreak vengeance. They're dead, you understand? They don't exist. And besides, why would they care? They're subatomic, horizontal. Think about it. One of them shyly offers me a pencil. The eyes under the eyelid start faster and faster. Through the intercom of the house where for so long there was no music, the Right Reverend Al Green is singing, "I could never see tomorrow, I was never told about the sorrow."
Our next contestant is Anthony Jimenez. Anthony is a junior at VHS, and this is his first time competing in Poetry Out Loud. He's currently a member of all the high school bands, including the marching bands.
Chord by Stuart Nybek. A man steps out of sunlight that streams like grace. Still gaping at blue sky, staked across the emptiness of space, into a history where shadows assume a human face. A man slips in the silence that began as a cry, steel trilling music, although reduced to the sigh of an accordion as it folds into its case.
Our next competitor is Beth Krause. Beth is a junior, and this is her first time reciting in Poetry Out Loud. She is currently studying to be an engineer and is involved in different groups, including TSA, Stage Crew, and ACE Mentorship.
Tomorrow, by Dennis O'Driscoll. Tomorrow I will start to be happy. The morning will light up like a celebratory cigar. Sunbeams sprawling on the lawn will set dew sparkling like a cut glass tumbler of champagne. Today will end the worst phase of my life. I will put my shapeless days behind me, fencing off the past as a golden ride of sand, slipshod seas from solid land. It's tomorrow I won't look back on, not today. Tomorrow I will start to be happy. Today is almost yesterday. Australia. How wise of you the day over and done with first, out of the way. You've eaten the fruit of knowledge, while we are dithering which main course to choose. How liberated you must feel, how free from doubt. The rise and fall of stocks. Today's closing prices are revealed to you before our bidding has begun. Australia, you can gather in your accident statistics like a harvest. Our road's still ours to kill. When we were in the dark, you sagely see the light. Cagley, presumptuously, I dare to write 2018. A date without character or tone. 2018. A year without interest rates or mean daily temperatures. Its hit songs yet to be written. Its New Year babies yet to be induced. Its truces yet to be signed. Much too far off for prophecy, though one could hazard a tenuous guess. A so-so year most likely, vague in retrospect, sizzling out with usual end-of-year sales. Every leaf slashed, and your last chance to salvage something of its style.
Our next competitor is Marilyn Miguel. Marilyn is a senior, and this is her third time competing in Poetry Out Loud. Marilyn is the secretary for the class of 2019 and is a member of the National Honor Society, FBLA, the academic team, and Model Congress.
Mingus at the Showplace by William Matthews. I was miserable. Of course, for I was 17, and so I swung into action and wrote a poem. And it was miserable. For that was how I thought poetry worked. You digested experience and shat literature. It was 1960 at the Showplace, long since defunct, on West 4th Street, and I sat at a bar, casting beer money from a thin reel of ones. The kid in the city, big ears like a puppy. And I knew that Mingus was a genius. I knew two other things, of course, but they were wrong, as it happened. So I made him look at the poem. There's a lot of that going around, he said, and sweet baby Jesus. He was right. He laughed amiably. He didn't look as if he thought bad poems were dangerous, the way that some poets do. If they were baseball executives, they'd plot to destroy sandlots everywhere so that the game could be saved from children. Of course, later that night, he fired his pianist at mid-number and flurried him from the sand. "We've suffered a diminuendo in personnel," he explained, and the band played on.
Our next competitor is Alexandra Orejuela. Alexandra is a sophomore, and this is her first time competing in Poetry Out Loud. She's a member of Poetry Club, and she hopes you enjoy her recitations.
Bent to the Earth by Blas Manuel de Luna. They had hit Reuben with the high beams, had blinded him so that the van he was driving, full of Mexicans going to pick tomatoes, would have to stop. Reuben spun the van into an irrigation ditch, spun the 5-year-old me awake to immigration officers, their batons already out, already looking for the soft spots on the body. To my mother being handcuffed and dragged to a van, to my father trying to show them our green cards. They let us go. But Alvaro was going back. So was his brother Fernando, so was their sister Sonia. Their mother did not escape and so was going back. Their father was somewhere in the field and was free. There were no great truths revealed to me then, no wisdom given to me by anyone. I was a child who had seen what a piece of polished wood could do to a face, who had seen his father about to lose the one he loved, who had lost some friends who would never return, who later that morning bent to the earth and went to work.
Our next competitor is Giovanni Perez. Gio is a junior, and this is his first time competing in Poetry Out Loud. He's a member of Select Choir and Poetry Club.
To the Notebook Kid by Eve L. Ewing. Yo, chocolate milk for breakfast, kid.
One leg of your sweatpants rolled up, scrounging at the bottom of your mama's purse for bus fare and gum. Pen broken, you got ink on your thumb, kid. What's good out on the cement, kid? White Castle, kid. Tongue stained, purple, cussing on the court. See, a little brother shows up with half a candy bar, kid. Got that good B in science, kid. You earned it, kid. At your name in a tree. Hug your granny on her birthday. Think of Alaska when they shootin'. Curled up dreams of salmon. Safety, tundra, the farthest away place you ever saw in a book. Polar bears and new chess partners. Pickaxe in the ice, more than lights, kid. Keep your notebook where your cousins won't find it. Leave it on my desk if you want. Shuffle under carbon paper and a stamp that screams late. Yellow and red to draw the eye from the ocean. You keep hidden in a jacked up 5-star. Your mama thought there was a secret in there. Thought they would laugh, but that ain't it. It's that flows and flows and flows and lines like those. Rip-roaring bits, you got bars. You could rap till the end of time. You could rap like helium, about to spring, all of it. Down to you, none left in the sun, fuelless. All right. While the light pushes from your belly, climbing your ribs, and you laugh into the microphone. And who was ready for that? Oh my God.
Our next competitor is Jeremy Rasmussen. Jeremy is a junior, and this is his 3rd time reciting a poetry out loud. He's a member of the academic team, Wizardry 101, and Model Congress. Jeremy enjoys Pokemon and raps under the name Young Raz.
Is this good? Okay. Watching the Perseids by Isabel Rogers. The parrot, Einstein of birds, who can count and reason calmly in our tongue while outliving us, disdains the ostrich. For all its sprint records, the ostrich will be remembered for hiding from the truth. You cannot run stupid. We the people hold some truths to be self-evident. Our magnificent brain in a body that can't flee, can't smell fear, can't hear death, can't see straight. Even so, our retinas with rods and cones as intricate as any telescope array evolved to see a predator slide out of a bleak shadow and give us time to bolt. We survey our closed dominion until we look up in August to find comet dust flaring in the night. This vastness, This vertiginous awareness mocking gravity on our speck of now wakes us with a recalibrating jolt. But soon, our familiar star will claw toward us in 7-league boots from the east, drawing its valiant thread across our planet as if to cloak a bird cage, to muffle questions that blink through dark matter and would pour over us until we drowned, dreaming of amnesia.
Our next competitor is Andrew Rodriguez. Andrew is a junior competing for the first time in Poetry Out Loud. He's a member of the Marching Band, the National Honor Society, and Wizardry 101.
Catch a Little Rhyme by Eve Barron. Once upon a time, I caught a little rhyme. I set it on the floor, but ran right out the door. I chased it on my bicycle, but it melted into an icicle. I scooped it up in my hat, but it turned into a cat. I caught it by the tail, but it stretched into a whale. I followed it in my boat, but it turned into a goat. I fed it tin and paper, but it became a tall skyscraper. Then it grew into a kite and flew far out of sight.
Our next competitor is Francis Bertuccio. Francis is a senior, and this is his 3rd year competing in Poetry Out Loud. He has previously competed in the Poetry Out Loud state competition at the College of New Jersey. He's a member of NHS, the marching band, the academic team, and the varsity tennis team.
Numbers by Mary Cornish. I like the generosity of numbers. The way, for example, they're willing to count anything or anyone. 2 pickles, 1 door to the room, 8 dancers dressed as swans. I like the domesticity of addition. Add 2 cups of milk and turn. The sense of plenty, 6 plums on the ground, 3 more falling from the tree. And multiplication, school of fish times fish, whose silver bodies breathe beneath the shadow of a boat. Even subtraction is never lost, just addition somewhere else. 5 sparrows take away 2, the 2 in someone else's garden now. There's an amplitude to long division as it opens Chinese take-up box by paper box. Inside every folded cookie, a new fortune. And I never fail to be surprised by the gift of an odd remainder, footloose at the end. 47 divided by 11 equals 4, with 3 remaining. 3 boys beyond their mother's call, 2 Italians off to the sea, 1 sock that isn't anywhere you look.
If you're changing for classes, just make sure you come in and out quietly. Thank you. Our last competitor for round 1 is James Bertuccio. James is a junior at VHS and is competing for the 2nd time in Poetry Out Loud. He is involved in various activities such as marching band, academic team, and varsity tennis, and he hopes that you will enjoy his recitations.
All This and More by Mary Carr. The Devil's Tour of Hell did not include a factory line where molten lead spilled into mouths held wide. No electric drills spiraling screws into hands and feet, nor giant pliers to lower you into simmering vats. Instead, a circle of light opened on your stuffed armchair, whose chintz orchids did not boil and change. And the devil adjusted your new spiked antenna almost delicately, with claws curled in lacquered black, before he spread his leather wings to leap into the acid green sky. So your head became a TV hub, a gargoyle mirror, your doppelganger sloppy at the mouth and swollen at the joints enacted your days in sinuous, slow motion. Lines delivered with a mocking sneer. Sometimes the frame froze, reversed, began again. The red eyes of a friend you cursed. Your girl child cowered behind the drapes, parents alive again and puzzled by this new form. That's why you clawed your way back to this life.
Okay, before we announce the contestants who are going to move on to the 2nd round, I'd like to do a little bit of audience participation. One of the most frequently recited poems in my classroom when we do the classroom competition is Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. Everybody loves this poem, and we hear it so many times that we all basically learn it before the end of our classroom competitions. So I'd like to call up anybody who would like to recite Fire and Ice. Come on up, and we're going to recite it together. Come on up if you need a copy. Katya's got it for you. Who loves Fire and Ice? We love Fire and Ice. All right, anybody else for fire and ice? All right, we'll give you a second to sit down. Okay, please have a seat if you're just coming in. If you want to recite fire and ice, come on up with us. Okay, ready? All right. Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. Ready?
Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I tasted of desire, I hope with those who favor fire. But if I had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that the destruction ice is also great and will suffice.
We love that poem.
Thanks, guys!
Extra credit on your test.
Hello, guys.
Hello, everyone.
Follow me on Instagram at Vineland.
Thank you, everybody. All right, moving on to our second round. We have 5 competitors who are going to recite their second poem for you. They are Zara Elahi, Marilyn Miguel, Jeremy Rasmussen, Francis Bertuccio, and James Bertuccio. Are we ready, competitors? Okay, once again, Zara Elahi.
April Midnight by Arthur Symons. Side by side through the streets at midnight, roaming together. Through the tumultuous night of London in the miraculous April weather, roaming together. Under the gaslight, day's work over, how the spring calls us here in the city. Calls to the heart, from the heart of a lover. Cool till the wind blows fresh in our faces. Cleansing, entrancing, after the heat and the fumes and the footlights, where you dance and I watch your dancing. Good it is to be here together, good to be roaming, even in London, even at midnight, lover-like in a lover's gloaming. You, the dancer, and I, the dreamer, children together, wandering lost in the night of London, in the miraculous April weather.
welcome back to the stage Marilyn Miguel.
Zacuan Papalotos by Brenda Cárdenas and memory of Jose Antonio Porciaga from 1947 to 1996. We are space. Between the black-orange blur of a million monarchs on their two-generation migration south to Fur Crown, Michoacan, where tree trunks will sprout feathers, a forest of paper-thin wings. Our Mexica cocooned within the membranes of the Madre Tierra say we are reborn, Zacuan Papalotos, mariposas negras y anaranjadas in whose sweep the dead whisper. We are between. The flicker of a comedian's tail as it turns its desert blue backbone to jade or pink sand, the snakeskin fraternal twins of solstice and equinox, the ashen dawn, silvering dusk, la oración as it leaves the lips, the tug from sleep, the glide into dreams as we husk out misty so memory. We are one life, passing through the prism of all others, gathering color and song, cempasúchil and drum, to leave a rhythm scattered on the wind, dust tinting the tips of fingers as we slip into our new light.
Please welcome back to the stage Jeremy Rasmussen.
Not Waving but Drowning by Stevie Smith. Nobody heard him, the dead man, but still he lay moaning. I was much farther out than you thought, and not waving, but drowning. Poor chap, he always loved larking, and now he's dead. It must have been too cold for him. His heart gave way, they said. Oh no, no, no. It was too cold always. Still, the dead one lay moaning. I was much too far out all my life, and not waving, but drowning.
All set? Please welcome back to the stage Francis Vertucci.
The Gift by Lee Young Lee. To pull the metal splinter from my palm, my father recited a story in a low voice. I watched his lovely face and not the blade. Before the story ended, he'd removed the iron sliver I thought I'd die from. I can't remember the tale, but hear his voice still. A well, dark water, a prayer. And I recall his hands, 2 measures of tenderness he laid against my face, the flames of discipline he raised above my head. Had you entered that afternoon, you would have thought you saw a man planting something in a boy's palm, a silver tear, a tiny flame. Had you followed that boy, you would have arrived here, where I bend over my wife's right hand. Look how I shave her thumbnail down so carefully she feels no pain. Watch as I lift the splinter out. I was 7 when my father took my hand like this, and I did not hold that shard between my fingers and think, that will bury me, Christ a little assassin, or going deep from my heart. And I did not lift up my wound and cry, death visited here. I did what a child does when he's given something to keep. I kissed my father.
Please welcome back our last competitor, James Vertuccio.
Cartoon Physics, Part 1 by Nick Flynn. Children under, say, 10 shouldn't know that the universe is ever expanding, inexorably pushing into the vacuum, galaxies swallowed by galaxies, whole solar systems collapsing, all of it acted out in silence. At 10, we are still learning the rules of cartoon animation, that if a man draws a door on a rock, only he can pass through it. Anyone else who tries will crash into the rock. 10-year-olds just stick with burning houses, car wrecks, ships going down, earthbound, tangible disasters, arenas where they can be heroes. You can run back into a burning house, sinking ships have lifeboats, the trucks will come with their ladders. If you jump, you will be saved. A child places her hand on the roof of a school bus and drives across a city of sand. She will know the exact spot it will skid, at which point the bridge will give, who will swim to safety, and who will be pulled under by sharks. She will learn that if a man runs off the edge of a cliff, he will not fall, until he notices his mistake.
If I could call back up all of the competitors for Poetry Out Loud today. Come on up, everybody. Can everyone just give them a great round of applause? This is a very difficult competition, and I just want to make sure that we all honor that for these kids, because it's a very intense process to memorize the poems, to recite them in front of a lot of people. They've been through the classroom round, and now the school round, and now we're going to go to the regional round. So I just want to make sure that they know that this is a fantastic opportunity, and they did a great job with it. I'm very proud of every single one of you. And they are all my kids, and so this is why I can't judge. But here are our two winners for today. Our runner-up, should our winner not be able to fulfill their duties, is James Vertuccio. And our winner for Poetry Out Loud 2019 is Jeremy Rasmussen. another round of applause.